technologies and disciplines. So I'm moving on to my next slide. So I'm trying to build on whatever I have covered so far to give you a perspective on what analysts can do. I mean, what we as analysts, looking at various aspects of big data, so what is it that we can do from a competency building perspective? So at a broad level, we can classify all the analysts into three kind of categories. So there's a vast majority of people who can be called as analytical amateurs. I mean, I'm one of them. So 70% of the people are in this. So basically, we can comfortably use spreadsheets. We know how to compare data. We know how to look at trend, and we know how to do. We can do trend analysis. So to a certain extent, we know what we can do as far as correlation is concerned. So that's a vast majority of people whom I call as analytical amateurs. And the next level, so is what we call as analytical professionals. People who can use visual tools. They know how to visualize data, how to present it, and who are comfortable in developing basic models, which will allow you to analyze this, this vast amount of information that's available. At the highest level, the analytical expert level is where the biggest challenges today lie in terms of competencies. So these are the people who can actually create algorithms, who know what kind of decision problems exist and what kind of new solutions we can provide from big data. So that's a kind of challenge that we're talking about. So we have shortages both in analytical professionals and analytical experts. So at a high level, this is about the kind of competency challenges that we have, but we can break it down into more technology specialization and business domain perspective. So which is the theme of discussion in my subsequent slides. So here I'm going to give you a very quick list of some of the things that we are looking at. So one, we know that big data brings new and exciting roles and opportunities. So we have new roles like chief analytics officer. There are roles like data scientists, which is a very unique breed of people who know statistics, who know machine learning, who know computer programming, who will know the big data technologies and also the business problems. So it's a very difficult combination. But there are people who can who claim to be data scientists, and that's a very rare breed of people. So we have big data architect. So we have moved away from the earlier era of ETL architects. So we are now having big data architects who can understand the various types of data that I was talking about, semi-structured to unstructured and structured and geospatial and all that. So these are the people who can understand all these different sources of data, different types of data, and have a plan to put them together. And then on the visualization side, so there are roles which one may call as data visualizer. And since data has importance here, so data governance is quite important. So we will have data stewards who know where the data comes from, who will own the data, how the data needs to be defined, and things like that. And of course, we from a statistical perspective, we will have statistical modelers, quantitative analysts who are comfortable with building algorithms, developing newer models for analyzing data. And then of course the machine learning expert, because big data is all about automation and algorithm. So we need a lot of people who understand natural language processing. We have to have people who are comfortable with techniques like neural networking and things like this. So if you look at these roles, a wide variety of roles, some which is purely data oriented, some which is purely statistics oriented, and there are roles which is integrating all of them and connecting it with business. So this is a kind of menu that we are looking at as far as the role